Hi everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today, friends, we are going to do something that we don't do very often over here. I'm combining Project Life weeks 48, 49, and 50 into this one video. So I've been a little behind on Project Life just because life has been lifing over here. If you've been following along in my December daily album, you might have heard about a few of these things, but Thanksgiving, once it came, December was here quickly. Me and Will had our trip to New York right at the beginning of December planned. And then also we've had some unfortunate health things go over here in my family over the last week. So it's just been kind of crazy. So I haven't been able to sit down and work on Project Life. So today I had a little bit of time. So I went ahead and got some cards together and just started to work on all three of these spreads. So I thought that I would combine them all into one video to share with you guys. So for week 48, of course, this was Thanksgiving week. So the very end of November, and lots of photos from Thanksgiving. So I have a picture at the top of some of the food that we made, a family selfie there with my mom and my dad and Will. I also have a picture of our cat, Shanghai, kind of with the Christmas tree in the background. I have the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, which I love to watch. And I didn't get like a picture of our TV or anything. So I just went online and screenshotted a photo, and it was rainy during it. So I made sure to get like the one from this particular year. I also have a picture of Will there with Penny as we were eating our Thanksgiving dinner with my parents. And then we were playing Yahtzee afterwards. Penny kept getting in his lap and she had her ball and all that. So I thought that that was really cute. Then at the bottom, I do have a smaller photo there of my bestie, Casey, her two little girls on Thanksgiving, Andy and Mickey, and I wanted to just pop that picture into my album as well. Then I have a picture of an older photo of Will and his parents, like when Will was probably maybe one or so. So we did go over to Will's family's side for Thanksgiving on the 1st, that Sunday, and we were looking through old photos, so I made sure to snap that. And the last picture that I just added a couple things to there is of our leftovers, which is one of my most favorite thing about Thanksgiving is all the leftovers for like the rest of the weekend. As far as my cards go, I did just pick for all of these spreads. I picked them mostly out of my stash, but as y'all know, LE Studio is a big thing for me with these pocket pages. So like this Thanksgiving details card that I'm working on right now is definitely from LE Studio. It's from one of the most recent months. And I love themed cards like that are so specific. So that was really fun to get to talk about some of our Thanksgiving details and the food that we made and all that kind of stuff. Also, this one here that I'm adding journaling on is also from LE Studio. And I added just a quick 1, 2, and 3 stamp from the Sophie Alpha stamp, my favorite stamp that I talk about all the time from Citrus Twist. So I'm just adding on a few little highlights or things that stood out about this week here. The other cards, I'm not sure where the autumn playlist came from, but it was a printable card. So I had printed that one off myself. I'm thinking probably from a Studio Calico sale from one time or the other, and then just a couple other randoms from my stash. I do have a few of the little random die cut embellishments here from LE Studio as well. So I'm adding on a few bits and pieces here and there just to finish this one off. I also really love those label sentiments. Like there's one right at the top with my food photo. The label that has the words inside of it, those are from LE Studio, and those are some of my favorite embellishments. They're so fun. So I added a few of those on as well. Also, I'm not sure if it's picking up the rain outside, but it is kind of storming outside. It's thundering, and my poor little doggies are under the bed right now. They're always really scared of thunder. So it may, if you hear anything, that's what that is. So just like that, that one's finished. These all come together really quickly because, of course, before I turned the camera on, I went ahead and picked out all of my cards and kind of got the prelim part finished so it would go smoothly. So week 48, done. Now we're moving on to week 49. So here you can see that all of my 3x4 cards are stuck together. And that's because the pocket pages that I always use are actually just 4x6 slots. So I always adhere my 3x4 cards together on regular computer paper so that they essentially make a 4x6 card, if that makes sense. So it just makes it easier for me to pop them into the page protectors. So for this week, I'm using all Ellie Studio cards because their newest kit had like very Christmassy colors. So I thought that they would go perfectly with my spread here, all about going to New York with Will. So I had a lot of pictures to choose from. So I just kind of picked a few of them that kind of just encapsulated our trip somewhat. And then I'll probably make a couple layouts eventually to kind of finish off the trip. So at first I grabbed out these alphas that I haven't used before. I bought them for December Daily and I haven't used them. They might be pink fresh. I'm not really sure. And I put that on there, but I don't know. I mean, I like the red, but just the font is kind of interesting and it starts to bother me. I felt like it blended into that card too much and I wanted something a little bit bolder that stood out. So after I place these little die cuts around and kind of figure out where I'm going to put them, I'm actually going to change those to just like a more blocky black alpha that is also from Ellie Studio. So as far as my photos go, of course, these are just bits and pieces from New York. So we have a picture there of me and Will at the top. We were at top of the rock of the Rockefeller Center, and we got to see all the views. Also have this really cool sign, a Dumbo sign from whenever we went to the Brooklyn Flea Market one weekend. I have our coffees whenever we went to the Bryant Park holiday markets. I have a smaller picture there in that A Moment of Delight card from Ellie Studio. A smaller picture of me and one of my longtime friends, Kelsey. We've been friends for like 20 years and we were able to meet up while we were there, which was so cool. I have a picture of Times Square at the bottom and also this really cool like holiday bar kind of thing that we went to called Miracle on 9th. I have a picture of the sign at the bottom as well. And then I do have a picture, another one of those selfies in the Christmas ball. That's up at the top. I couldn't help myself. I bought all kinds of stickers and memorabilia to go in Project Life, my December Daily. I'm going to do a whole New York album eventually. So I have the Big Apple sticker and also the taxi sticker. Those came out of the same sticker pack. So I thought, why not? I'm going to add those on. I pop in a few other little embellishments here and there. Another one of those nice little labels. And then I add in little bits of journaling around. Again, I'll most likely make a couple layouts. I usually do that whenever I have kind of bigger events go on. So I'm not that concerned with capturing like every bit of the trip during this spread. I just wanted it to give like the vibes, So for this little card that I'm working on, this is the last one I work on for this spread. And I was kind of unsure what I wanted to do because I just added journaling right beside it. So this didn't really need journaling. And that would mean that all of my journaling for the spread would be like right by each other, in both of those pockets, which I like to normally spread it out a little bit. So I was kind of going back and forth, like, do I want to add more journaling? Because the other journaling that I did was basically like an overview and some highlights. So I didn't really need to do any journaling right there. So I'm kind of trying to figure out like, what can I put right here? So I do find these other puffies. So I had 2 puffy hearts and a puffy star on here. And as I'm trying to figure everything out, and what I end up going with are these large, kind of blocky alphas here from Ellie Studio. So I'd already stamped NYC. So then I just put love and it fit in there really nicely. So I just basically made my own filler card and I thought that turned out pretty good. So this one is a little busy, but I had a lot going on for this week. So I feel like it all flows good enough for me. And I got another spread completed. So I'll show you a little up close here. And then we will move on to this past week, which was week 50. So now I will be all caught up in my project life, which feels really, really good, I've got to say. So for this one, this is totally random cards here. So the top one, I think that's probably really old from Studio Calico. The Feeling a Little Bit Blue, that one I think is from maybe Paper Person. Of course, there's the Reason Why one at the bottom, which we can all guess is from Ali Edwards. And then that one with the 3 little hearts is from Ellie Studio. So I just kind of picked a few random cards that I thought worked. And for my Reason Why down here, I wanted to do a lot of journaling about the fact that my mom was in the hospital, and it was really a really tough week. So I'd already written about this in my December daily. So instead of putting myself through like trying to write about it again, I just went ahead and reprinted what I wrote about in December daily. I just added a tiny bit more to the bottom, but for the most part, I just got to copy and paste that. So that worked out really nicely. And then I added that onto my Reason Why. Then, just like I've done several times, if I don't have a lot of pictures from a week, I got this kind of little tip from Dearly D a long time ago. I'll print off one photo as a 6x8 and then just cut it down like I'm doing now to fit inside the page protectors. So I did this big picture of mine and my mom's hands whenever I was holding her hand in the hospital bed. This was when we were, it was looking up, things were looking up, and we were watching Elf. So I have a couple pictures there of that moment. And then also I just have a picture of the wing of the airplane, because actually the Monday of this week, me and Will got back home from New York. 5 hours later, my mom had 2 seizures actually, and had to be in the hospital until the following Friday. It was really tough. And then Saturday and Sunday of this week were also just kind of like recouping, and she's having this back spasm issue after the seizures. And, y'all, it's just been a lot. So be thinking about my sweet mom, and it's just been kind of tough. So that is what this week is about. So there definitely was not a lot of pictures from this week, but I still wanted to, of course, document it. Now for the title, I knew I wanted something like bold, so I grabbed out the alphas and the numbers from this stamp set from Ali Edwards. I really love this stamp set, so I stamped out week 50 and added my dates, of course, and then I'll pop that back into place. Then I just have a few other things to add on. So I do have a little small 2x2 square there at the bottom, and I don't exactly remember what that said, but it was something I found on Instagram that I screenshotted, because it was basically saying, if you don't feel so twinkly this season, don't be so hard on yourself, and just try to take in those moments that make you feel good, essentially, throughout the Christmas season when you can. And I'm practically Mrs. Claus. I absolutely adore Christmas, and I'm always kind of bringing that magic, I feel. And this year has just been hard because there's been a lot of stuff like outside things coming in that's just been kind of, trying to stomp out the magic around here. So I just kind of put a couple sentences on that card about that. I do add 3 of those label stickers with the sentiments in there around. And then I do add that heart at the top on that large photo. And I'm going to add 2 other heart stickers up there just to kind of finish it off. And I'm pretty sure that's all I do. So I keep this one really sweet and simple, just wanted to get this one done. Those hard weeks, a lot of times it's just nice to just have it in there, have it finished, and then you can just move on to the next one. So I hope that next week I will have much better stories to tell. So it feels really good to be all caught up. I'm so happy that I was able to film them and share with you guys. So I hope that you enjoy this quick and easy process video. If you did, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And of course, I will be back to you super soon with more December Daily. So I hope y'all are having an absolutely wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, y'all.